Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Tim, trader at the Camp Compound, a company of professional traders where we show you exactly where, when, how and why we invest. Let's get right to it because today is our crypto day and there's some interesting things to talk about. In front of us we have the Bitcoin US dollar 1 day chart, and as you can tell we have been rejected by, let's say, 13,000 or 30,500 approximately, this area right here, as we have been talking about. Went all the way back down to test right here this previous support, and now we've got a bit of a bounce. Part of this bounce came in because of another bank about to collapse, and that is First Republic, as you can see here. First Republic Bank, a drama as the banking sector continues to see strain. This is not very strange either. Like Jeff Snyder would say, a crisis doesn't happen like that in one go, but you kind of have this slide down and then a period of relative ease where the market tries to come back a little bit, and then you slip back down further. This is good for Bitcoin because everything is good for Bitcoin, as they like to say, but we do see that this fear of banks not being secure gives Bitcoin a bit more momentum to the upside. However, what we also see is that Bitcoin is kind of entering a news fatigue phase, because here we had some news, I believe, I'm not entirely certain, but you had a big rally, smaller rally, and now possibly an even smaller rally depending on how today ends. So that is something that we're looking at, whether or not we can break that 28,800 again, and whether we can confirm above properly. That is what we're seeing right here. And now, if we can, there's a good chance of a retest of 30,500. I still do not think that that would be enough to break all the way to the upside to 32,200 and to break this resistance zone, because this is a very, very heavy resistance zone. Now, the fact that we could enter twice in such a short time is already a great start, but there is still just a lot in general that could bring us back down to 25,200. We also see that this is still a very important resistance, because if we look here, this may look a little intense, but I'm going to walk you through it. Basically, this shows you where orders are set. So the lighter a bar is, like here, this is completely white. That means that there is a lot of selling right here. So ready to be sold. Same as 32,000. So we see that right above where we are now are several orders layered for quite a lot of Bitcoin. And then we see that the next support is right here around 26,500, 600, like we have been talking about. Then, if we continue downwards, and the next one is really around that 25,000. It's a bit thicker right here, but this is what we're seeing. For now, there is still a lot of resistance right above us, and we have some room to the downside. So that is it for Bitcoin at the moment. I still think that there's a higher chance of moving down as opposed to up. But we will see. Maybe we will make like a double top or something. That is still possible. Alright, then moving on to Ethereum, we kind of see a similar thing happening. Ethereum is a bit weaker than Bitcoin at the moment, showing that Bitcoin is still very much in charge right now, and we have to keep an eye on Bitcoin. The alt market is not as strong. We have heard some talk about perhaps a tiny alt season. But it looks like we've already had that in this rise up, where near the end altcoins went faster than Bitcoin, and I think that was the alt echo boom in this case. That means that for now we will have to keep an eye on Bitcoin pairs, for instance, like Ethereum Bitcoin, for interesting entries. We already have quite an interesting trade on Ethereum Bitcoin, but for now it definitely looks like Ethereum could still move into this support zone between 1720 and 1780 or 90 approximately, or maybe even move all the way back down towards 70 or 1600, 1500. depending on whether or not it can keep this trend line. So that is what we're seeing currently. If we move on to, for instance, Radix is showing that there's a bit more liquidity coming into the market, but not that strong, not quite able to break through its resistance just yet. We kind of see that in the mix here in the altcoins as well this morning, especially. It was very mixed, kind of like felt very Christmassy with all the green and the red in between, but for now it's not that exciting. There's a couple winners, there's a couple losers, but step by step, right? That's what we're seeing for now. If we have a quick look at the positions that we have open, those are, for instance, Ethereum, Bitcoin, which is still slipping down, meaning that we could go for that triple tap around 6 or 0.0625 and then move back towards 0.058 or 0.054 where we want to make our next entries. We also still have our short of Ethereum. It is a little bit in loss at the moment. We spent some time in profit, but for now it is still very much likely that we will see a lower low over the weeks to come, probably, and that is kind of what we're waiting for patiently. Same thing with Bitcoin. We are in a decent position at the moment, but we are still expecting it to go back down lower, and 25,000 to 24,000 is the most likely to see. All right, that is what I have for you at this point. There are a couple of interesting coins that we are looking at. We've also had some shorts over the past, but for instance, AVE I think is always interesting. I would like it to hit that 65 or 66 together with the rest of the market. We are kind of waiting for that because we're too much in a gray area right now, and really you want to be certain. We are looking for that 80% chance that the market is going our way after buying or soon after buying, and for now the market is just not giving us that. We are looking at ADA a bit lower. There's a couple more. Matic, for instance, do I have that here or do I have that in my purple list? I have it somewhere. Doesn't matter. Let's have a look at Matic USDT. Is also not quite there yet. We would like it to go a little bit lower, maybe a bit more towards that 90 area approximately. For now, it's not quite good enough yet, but we will see over the coming days. So keep calm, keep cool, keep compounding. It's important to be able to keep your patience in moments like this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.